Hey, what is going on, everybody? Boilon here, back for another video on Marvel Strike Force. Now, if you watched my blog video from yesterday, then you're probably here today, or you just saw the thumbnail anyways, of something really spicy that I want to share with you all today. Before I go any further with the video, though, I do want to let people know that I am going to be doing a special, I guess you could call it a follow-up live stream on Twitch at 11 a.m. Pacific time. If you're watching this a lot later, then maybe it had already happened. There likely will be VODs for that stream, but it's going to be basically a conversation and continuation of what we're going to be talking about here in this video. And that's going to be that I am here to share with you the official reworked characters for the upcoming Astral Team. So that's something that people have been asking, whether or not I know anything about this. At this point in time, I do not know the new characters, but nonetheless, I think honestly, it's probably a little bit more important to know who the rework characters are. That way, you can prepare a little bit, make sure if you're a newer mid game player, right, that you have these characters up to 7-star. And we're going to have a broader conversation about these two characters and, what you should be doing about them. So if you're, and in the second half of the video, we're going to be talking about, unfortunately, some bad news. So the good news is the reworks. The bad news is going to be that there are some new monetization strategies coming to Marvel Strike Force with this upcoming Astral Team, which may or may not surprise you. Maybe at this point in time it wouldn't surprise you, but I still want to let people know about what's around the bend. Anyways, so if you are ready to go, let's boil this down. Now, why are we here talking about the Astral Team anyways, and what relevance do they have? Now, if you haven't been keeping, I hate that it kind of flips around, but if you haven't been keeping up with what's going on in the game, we have Battle World now in November, but it is going to be the next team that's going to be after, I hate this, that's going to be coming after the Night Stalkers team. So we're probably looking at, honestly, the first week of November for Night Stalker, or sorry, for Astral. And Astral is going to be one of these elite mission teams for Battle World, and it's going to be really important. And if you've been catching my other videos, then you would also know that Astral is going to be a Battle World and War Defense team. So my guess is, and this is just speculation right now, that Astral is going to be coming out throughout November, and then maybe we might see Battle World before American Thanksgiving, which I heard was towards the end of the month. And so that way, there's only going to be two characters, remember, because we do have the two reworks, we have the two new characters, but we have Shadow King as a trial, presumably a trial legendary character, right? And so I think that the trial can kind of run almost simultaneously with the character release schedule. And so usually they're between 7 and 10 days apart. And so that gives you 2 to 3 weeks for the two new characters. And I think honestly, if we get the first one at the start of November, that means the full Astral Team will be available to be used before Battle World comes out, and you need to use those Astral characters in Battle World. But then again, of course, with the way it is, if you don't spend or if you don't core for these characters, you may not necessarily have them when you need it for the elite mission. So just keep that in mind. I just want to do a little bit of a recap on what's going on with Battle World and the Astral Team. Now, let's get to let's get to rework number 1. And this caught me by surprise a lot. So if you guys remember, I did a video on the Shadow King and I talked about speculated reworks, and what I had heard at the time was that they were mutant psionic characters. And this is still true. So from what I understand is that the new characters they're going to be like that, but it's not going to be an entirely mutant team anymore. It's a mixed team. And actually what I was told is that it's going to be a bit of an abomination team. And what I mean by that is like it's going to be one of those teams where they're very loosely affiliated. It's almost infestation-esque. It's like, yes, there's the Shadow King and then a bunch of other characters who can astral project, but it's not necessarily all connected to Shadow King. And so it's going to be one of those hodgepodge Marvel Strike Force Scopely-esque kind of teams where you kind of had to think a little bit outside of the box in terms of the picks. And that's where we are now. So a lot of people, it's funny because I was actually looking through some of my comments on some of my other videos, and people did comment on Doctor Strange because he is, in the movies, he is able to astral project. And it turns out that, some of you were right. Unfortunately, the reworks do not include Madeline Pryor and Psylocke, unfortunately, because I actually really wanted them to be reworked. but it's Doctor Strange. Now, one thing that I want to say and why I'm concerned about this is that Doctor Strange isn't known for having great reworks. He's been reworked twice. Supernatural, Secret Defenders, and now he's going to be part of the Astral Team. And the reason why I'm concerned is because I had him at 75 G14. I brought him up to 86 G16 just recently, like in the last couple of days. But he's never been a character that I think has been like super amazing on those teams. So I am skeptical of how good he's going to be in the Astral Team. That being said, the Astral Team is supposed to be the premier team to beat Null in Zone 6, or the final battle against Null in Battle World. It's also going to be a war defense team. And what do we know about Doctor Strange? Well, he revives a bunch of characters. And so the way that they're going to be moving forward, and he had this actually in arena text. So from what I've been told is that a lot of this stuff related to his tags are going to be cleaned up. And they're actually going to be changing it to all allies rather than the callouts to Secret Defenders and Supernatural. He can revive up to 2 characters as well. I think you need the T4. It revives an additional character, actually. So presumably with the Astral Team, you'd be able to revive up to 2 dead Astral allies up to 65% health, and then one other random one, or so 1 at 50 and 1 at 65, that kind of thing. And it's a bit of a heal mechanic as well. And the special actually with the Secret Defenders also added that piercing damage with the Winds of Watum. So it does a little bit of damage, and this might be good with the base stat rework. It's not a lot though. It's 230 with the T4 upgrade. And then the passive on-turn fill speed bar of the ally with the least speed bar by 15%. And then he starts stacking deflect on himself whenever a positive effect is applied to the enemy. So a lot of this stuff that calls out the 2 or more and then these allies, I think a lot of this text is going to be ripped out and it's just going to apply to all allies. It's possible that the resistance stuff might stay the same, but a lot of the general callouts to the Supernatural Team and Secret Defenders and stuff, all of that is just going to be all allies. I don't even think it's going to be Astral allies. I think it's just going to go to all allies. But, we know that Doctor Strange has never been super stellar. So I because a lot of people are like, is Boilon, is he making stuff up? I'm going to take him to 95 G18. So the reason why I'm only taking him this high is because I'm sus about whether or not he's actually going to be that great. But for the purposes of the video, I'm going to do this just to show you guys that I am feeling confident that this is 99. I'm going to say 100% that this is the case. I'm going to put the Boilon 100% on this, that Doctor Strange is going to be the first rework character. I'm just like, I don't know how useful he's going to be, which is why I'm not taking him to 19,100. Sorry, guys. So the second one that I want to talk about is Moondragon. Again, not a mutant psionic. So I'm a little bit disappointed with the overall choices of reworks, because although it's not surprising. So what I do like about this, though, is that they are mixed origins. So now we have a mystic character with Doctor Strange. I'm assuming that Shadow King is going to be a mutant character, but maybe he could be a mixed mutant mystic, because if it's the Shadow King entity, who knows, right? Like, I'm not sure what they're going with that. And then we have Moondragon here as a skill character. So some of you, especially those of you in the veteran community, probably already have Moondragon to some degree, maybe upwards to 90, level 90 G17 plus. Some people did take to G18 because of like Infinity Watch and Crucible defense was quite big. And so now we have Moondragon, which is another support character. And that's a little bit, it's not surprising because of the direction that they were going with Orcus. They had Scientist Supreme, and then they had Omega Sentinel, who were 2 support characters. Now, I don't even have Omega Sentinel yet, so I don't know how viable or how much do you need that many support characters. So you have Moondragon, who is a healer, and you have Doctor Strange, who is kind of healer, he revives people, does a little bit of healing. Moondragon is probably a better healer, honestly. And I think some of this is to do with the sustain that you're going to need for Battle World to fight Null. It's going to be a long fight, probably. And so it's not surprising that they want to put 2 support characters in there. And it's also going to be a war defense team, which means it's probably going to be a massive pain in the ass, at least with Shadow King and the new characters, once you're able to put 2 and 2 together with the kits and all that, which I do not have yet at this time. So just a recap of what Moondragon does, of course. She actually does clear all of the positive effects on the enemy team. As far as what's changed for the rework, I really don't know, but it does do a lot of different things here. It does reduce the speed bar on the primary target for up to 50%. There's this stuff I honestly didn't remember much of this. If primary target is a protector with immunity, flip the immunity and then apply immunity to all Infinity Watch. So again, all of these things with callouts, I believe is going to start adding to, like, this part is going to like have astral text or it's all allies or something like that. And so any parts where, especially in the passives, like this is all going to then apply, I believe, over to the astral team as well. And then her ultimate, which does just flat healing. This one was kind of lackluster. Like it was a very basic ability. Like in terms of the text, like there's like 3 lines: heal for 30%, apply defense down, and attack all enemies for 400% damage. But all of the characters are going to be getting base stat reworks equivalent to what we've been seeing with Orcus and Night Stalkers and things like that. So as far as who I think would be the better of the two characters, honestly, I'm going to assume it's probably Moondragon, just because she's a newer character. Even though Doctor Strange is reworked twice, I just feel like there's a phrase for this that I just don't know if you can really fix him all that much, because his kit, you need to add quite a bit. Anyways, so Moondragon is the second rework coming to the Astral team. And just to show my proof on this, that I am willing to do this, I will go to level 100 and I am going to do gear 19, even though that's not actually, I just got enough arcane magic actually to do this. So there you go, just to prove my willingness to do this, because I feel like some people will maybe believe me a little bit more if I'm able to quote unquote waste my resources, because if I'm wrong, then I just blew a lot of resources and gold that I probably should have kept, right? So I am believing in what's going to happen here, and so I just wanted to put my money where my mouth is by doing this here. All right, in the second part of this video, I said that I had some bad news, and you're probably wondering, well, what is that? So we know that the game has been really, really gouging with the monetization strategy lately. Like I guess we could go all the way back to Old Man Logan, but more recently we could go to Captain Britain and so on. Even though, yes, Captain Britain's apparently going to become available on Monday, and we'll have to see more about that in terms of what free-to-play shards free-to-play players will be able to get shard-wise. But nonetheless, there's been a whole slew of different, paywalling, whale gouging, and all of the above, right? We had Dark Dimension 8 with Odin, which I honestly thought was a very quick cash grab. Even free to play, I was able to get Odin unlocked within a month, which honestly I think is absolutely insane. And then we had the Night Stalker's character Blade, who had all awakened abilities on his kit, and he was a normal character with normal red stars, right? You could pull his red stars, and so the only thing different was that he had all awakened abilities. And then now we have Zombie Scarlet Witch that's coming in the not so distant future. I don't know at this time how she is going to be made available. Again, there was rumors that she was going to be a 4-star paid unlock. I don't know if that's going to be true, so that's not a 100% Boilon guarantee. All I do know is that there's going to be some paid element to this, right? She's epic tagged for a reason. And so I don't know how harshly they're going to be trying to gouge our wallets for Zombie Scarlet Witch. Anyways, this is me leading up to saying that they are continuing this trend. And so how does this get bad or get worse? And I'm here to tell you that all of the Astral characters are going to have awakened abilities. All of them. Yes, all of them. I said that. I'm going to say it again. All of them, including the reworked characters. How they're going to do that, I don't know. Why they're doing that, I don't know. But yeah, apparently that even Doctor Strange and Moondragon are going to get awakened abilities, which will mark the very first time that rework characters will get awakened abilities. The entire team, including Shadow King, which I think was a given anyways. Old Man Logan had awakened on all of them anyways, and then the new characters will as well. So all 5 of the characters of the Astral team will get awakened abilities. I don't even know what that's going to do, right? Like maybe I just don't know I don't know Doctor Strange well enough. Like how are they going to add, what are they going to add into like level 6 passive or level 8 of the skills? I don't know at this time. I don't have the kits, so I can't tell you that, but my source tells me that yes, that we are going to be getting awakened abilities on all of the characters, and that makes me concerned a little bit, because usually they're not available free to play. Some of them are, like the Blade Ultimate was, and the Blade, no, that's it. I think it's just so far it's just the Blade Ultimate, right? The Blade Basic is paid online, the Blade Special is an offer, and the Blade Passive we don't know yet. So there may be like 1, maybe 2 that are free to play available, and the rest are not. And that's just more ways for Scopely to earn their money. And what I don't like about this is that now it's shifting on over to the rework characters as well. So we'll have to gauge exactly sort of what we get out of that, right? Like, is it even worth it? Like, what kind of value for that character are we going to get? Does it make them better? Because that could be another thing too, right? You know, because Doctor Strange has been historically pretty garbage, and so maybe the awakened abilities will make his skills better enough that, like, you know, I'm not sure if it's going to add a mechanic or not, but maybe just make him better than what he is right now, right? Because I know we all have reservations about Doctor Strange, like I do. No surprise there. But that's just something I wanted to share with you guys to end the video, because it just shows that they're doubling down or whatever, tripling down on monetization. And the way that they're monetizing is with the characters. They're continuing to do that with the characters. We'll have to see what happens with Zombie Scarlet Witch, though, but that'll be a completely separate video. So that's going to be the end of this video, everyone. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'm sorry that I haven't been able to give you the new characters for the Astral Team. Maybe I will, you know, sometime soon. But I do want to kind of let people know once again that I will be holding a, I guess you could call it a Q&A of sorts, or expanded conversation about what we've talked about in today's video. It's going to be live on my Twitch stream at 11 a.m. Pacific for, I don't know, we'll see how long, maybe an hour and a half. And that's going to be at twitch.tv/Boilon89. I will leave a link in the description down below for you to check it out. So that's going to be the end of this video, everyone. And until next time, stay safe and healthy. And I'll see you all later. Boilon, signing out.